All right, let's get right into it because 2025 is shaping up to be a truly massive year for the iPhone. Everything we're hearing points to a huge, three-pronged refresh of the entire family. And look, this is not just another upgrade. This feels like a totally new philosophy for what an iPhone is. We're talking about a new standard, a new Pro powerhouse, and something completely new.
So here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to look at Apple's brand new lineup strategy. Then, we'll get properly introduced to the standard iPhone 17, see what the new Pro models are unleashing, and then meet the all-new iPhone Air. After that, we'll throw them all into the ring for the 2025 showdown, and finally, try to figure out which one of these might be the right one for you.
You know, the best way to wrap your head around Apple's new strategy is this simple idea: good, better, best, and now, different. This isn't just about small steps up anymore. We're talking about creating three very distinct personalities inside the iPhone family.
So here it is, the new landscape in a nutshell. You've got the iPhone 17, which is being called the new standard, and it's a seriously high standard. Then the iPhone 17 Pro becomes the Pro powerhouse, just pushing everything to the absolute limit. And then there's the wild card, the iPhone Air, which is all about its breakthrough design. So let's dig into what all that really means.
First up, let's talk about the iPhone 17. It really seems like Apple is about to dramatically raise the bar for what a standard iPhone even is. This is no longer going to feel like just a slight step down from the Pro model. Nope, this looks like a huge leap forward for pretty much everyone.
The huge story here is just how many Pro features are apparently coming down to the standard model. We're talking about the powerful A19 chip, a bigger 6.3-inch ProMotion display, for that buttery smooth scrolling, and a massive camera upgrade. Get this, all the rear cameras are jumping to 48 megapixels. You add in a totally new front camera and solid all-day battery, and suddenly that $799 starting price looks like a crazy good deal.
Okay, we have to talk about that new front camera. It's supposedly called the center stage front camera, and the real secret sauce here is its square sensor. Now, that would be a first for an iPhone, and it's designed to snap these really high-res 18-megapixel photos with a wider view. But the real magic is what that shape lets it do.
So what does a square sensor actually do for you? Well, first, it just captures a way wider image right off the bat. So for group selfies, the AI can just expand the frame and boom, everyone's in. But here's the real game changer. You can shoot landscape video while you're holding the phone vertically. Just think about that for a second. No more having to awkwardly turn your phone on its side just to get a wider shot. All right, now let's level up to the iPhone 17 Pro. If the standard model is setting a new high bar, the Pro is where Apple is just pushing the absolute limits of what a phone can do, especially with its camera.
And this right here is the headline number, an 8x optical zoom. I mean, that is by far the longest optical zoom we've ever seen on an iPhone. We're talking the equivalent of a 200mm lens. This is apparently possible because of a new tetraprism design and a sensor that's 56% larger. It gives photographers and videographers some insane reach.
And it's not just about burst speed. It's about power you can actually use for a long time. The Pro models are rumored to have up to 40% better sustained performance. So how are they doing that? Well, it's a 1-2 punch of the even more powerful A19 Pro chip and a new internal design that uses a vapor chamber for cooling. What that actually means for you is you can game harder and edit video for longer without the phone slowing down.
So if you want to sum up the whole Pro difference, it's all about the extremes. You've got the more powerful A19 Pro chip with that vapor chamber cooling, the absolutely wild 8x zoom camera system, and special video formats for pros. Then you add in tougher materials and a massive 2 terabyte storage option, and yeah, you've got a machine built for serious creators.
Okay, but honestly, the biggest shocker we're expecting isn't just the upgrades to the phones we already know. It's the introduction of a completely new one, the iPhone Air. And this is where design and engineering really take over the story.
And this, right here, is its entire reason to exist. The iPhone Air is, quite simply, expected to be the thinnest iPhone Apple has ever made.
So how thin are we talking? Just 5.6 millimeters. That is an incredible number. It's one of those things you'd really have to hold in your hand to believe. You know, a past quote from Apple's head of hardware engineering, John Ternus, seems to capture the idea perfectly. He once described a super thin design as a breakthrough that feels like you're holding the future. And that's the whole vibe here, to create this impossibly light and thin device that somehow doesn't compromise on its power. So how on earth could they actually pull this off? Well, it's a whole bunch of innovations working together. A super strong but light titanium frame, the crazy power-efficient A19 Pro chip, and a new modem, a completely redesigned internal layout, and, this is a big one, an eSIM-only design. By getting rid of that physical SIM card tray, they free up a ton of precious space inside.
Okay, so we've seen what makes each of these new iPhones special on their own. Now it's time to put them side by side and really see where the differences lie.
This table really makes the trade-offs crystal clear. I mean, look at this. The Air gets the same powerful A19 Pro chip as the Pro model, but it's $100 cheaper. You're just giving up that third telephoto camera for the thin design and a bigger screen. And meanwhile, the standard iPhone 17 is just an incredible powerhouse for its price. It all comes down to that bottom row. What's your priority? Is it value, the absolute best camera, or that futuristic design?
So after all of that, we're left with the big question. Which one should you get? It really feels like Apple is creating three very clear paths, and each one is designed for a different kind of person.
Let's just break it down really simply. If you're the kind of person who just wants a fantastic, super powerful upgrade with all the best new features, but you don't need the absolute extremes, the iPhone 17 looks like the perfect choice. If you're a creator, a serious gamer, or a power user who demands the absolute best camera and performance, no question, the iPhone 17 Pro is the one for you. But if you're someone who just values that cutting-edge, futuristic design and portability above all else, but you still want that pro-level power, that is exactly who the iPhone Air is for.
And all of this leaves us with one last fascinating question to think about. By creating three such different iPhones, is Apple making the choice of which one to buy more complicated? Or is it actually making that choice more personal than it ever been?